Welcome back to our K through 8 General Music PLC through the Georgia Department of Education. This is topic 4, music on a budget. And in segment 2, we'll be talking all about different rhythm manipulatives.
All right, so welcome to an overhead view of my desk. I'm going to be demonstrating different rhythm manipulatives that I've created over the years, and also some things that I may have purchased at a very low cost, and a lot of the stuff I made for free or got for free. So the very first one I want to show you is one of the very first things I made, and it is still going strong, and that is these rhythm bags. And in each bag contains a combination of quarter notes and eighth notes. And so if I open up this box and show you a bag, I've got eighth notes here and quarter notes, and these are made using Sharpie and index cards and plastic bags. But I got these plastic bags from my classroom teachers. A lot of them put them on the supplies list and then have accumulated them over the years and gotten way too many. So I've said, I'm happy to help you share the wealth, and I'll take them off their hands. And so this was made for free. And I've used these year after year and have been going strong with these. I've also made different kits with different rhythms. So these kits have quarter note, eighth note, and quarter rest. And then I also have a kits that each bag has quarter notes, eighth notes, beamed 16th notes, quarter rest, and half notes. And I actually use these in conjunction with popsicle stick rhythms, which you've probably seen before, where you give the kids some popsicle sticks and you say one popsicle stick by itself is a quarter note, but then we can make eighth notes like that. And before I pass these out to the kids, I will demonstrate, and I will have them explicitly count, okay, eighth notes require 3 popsicle sticks. And you can use them for 16th notes. I've also used them for quarter rest with just a Z as a symbolic notation. I had a first grader this year say that Z stands for 0 sound on the beat, which I loved. So I told him I'm going to steal that and start using it forever and ever. And then you can actually do half notes. And the way I do half notes with them is I will hand them to them in a bundle with a rubber band. And I know that each bundle has a specific amount of sticks, so I don't have to worry about passing out additional sticks if someone says I don't have enough. But then they can take that rubber band and use it as the empty note head to create their half note. And we always, talk about how it's a D and not a B and all that stuff. So the way that I use them in conjunction with the rhythm bags is I use it for differentiation. So I will give the students the option between using the popsicle sticks or the rhythm bags. And I also let them have the option of writing it on either a dry erase board or something like this with a beat sheet and some vis-a-vis where they can take each note and each heartbeat as a beat and then write the note inside. So the pre-made rhythm bags would be like level 1 of differentiation because the note shapes are already made for them. The popsicle sticks would be level 2, and then writing it down using pen or dry erase or whatever would be level 3 because that's more difficult to create the notation with handwriting. Another way to use popsicle sticks is a great game that I use sometimes in centers or on a free day or when I have a sub. It's called Busted. And so the way Busted works, if you've never played it, I've got a variety of sticks in here that should, in theory, be all facing the same way. And I've got some with quarter notes and quarter rests and eighth notes, and also busted. And so I write it on both sides to be less confusing. Yeah. So the following video will show you how busted works.
This game is called Busted. We're each going to take a turn picking one stick out of the cup, and we're going to put it on the floor in front of us, and then read the whole rhythm we get. I'll go first. Toddy.
Toddy. Toddy.
Shh. My turn again. Toddy. So now my whole rhythm is toddy, toddy.
Toddy, ta. Toddy, ta. Toddy. Ta. Ta.
Okay, so that's one way to get out. If you say the wrong rhythm, then all your sticks have to go back in. Here's the other way your sticks go in. If I accidentally pull out a stick that says busted. So now I'm going to keep my busted stick out of the cup, but all my other sticks go in. She still has 2. She still has 2. You could have 10 sticks, but if you pull a busted, all 10 sticks have to go back in the cup. The way you win is by having the longest rhythm at the end when there's no more sticks left and all the busteds have been taken out.
I've also started doing these song rhythm kits, which work a little differently. So in here, I have a bag of empty bags that I'm going to use to make the kits. And then this is for storage purposes. I have a huge bag of cut out laminated quarter notes and cut out laminated 16th notes and cut out laminated quarter rests, etc. So what I'll do is I'll take a specific song and I will actually go through and count ahead of time and say, hey, that song has 14 quarter notes, 1/8 note, and 1 quarter rest. That I don't know what song that is. That's a weird example, but let's pretend there's a song out there with that particular rhythm combination. So what I'll do is I'll take the bag of bags, and each one of these will turn into one kit, and I'll count out 14 quarter notes, 1 paired 8th note set, and 1 quarter rest, and I'll put all of those note values into this bag. And then I'll hand this bag to the students, usually in a small group, which is why I have multiple bags. And I'll say, okay, in this bag are 14 quarter notes, 1 quarter rest, 1 paired 8th note, and that's all you need to make this specific song. Go. And it's kind of like a puzzle, and they have to figure out how to notate the rhythm, but using the parameters of the notes that I've given them. So they know the right answer is there somewhere. They've just got to find it. So my kids have really enjoyed that the past couple years. Another thing I do with pre-written rhythms is various songs and activities. I will create these rhythmic building blocks. So for example, this one would be elephant, and then monkey, anteater, and so on. So this goes with a specific activity I've done, but you can make rhythm building blocks with just the rhythm, or you can create them specifically for each song. But rhythmic building blocks is another great manipulative you can hand to the students and have them create something or notate something that you give them. Another great thing that you can do for the purposes of notation or handing to them is to use Play-Doh. So I got these on Amazon, but in the past I've seen similar mini tubs of Play-Doh, maybe not brand name Play-Doh, but Play Clay at the dollar store. And so I'll hand one of these cups to a group, maybe with one of these heartbeat charts. My desk is running out of room for all these manipulatives. And I will give them a rhythm and have them notate it with how many sounds on the beat. For example, ta, ta, toddy, ta might look like this. Ta, ta, toddy, ta. So they really love, this makes notation really, really fun because they can make the rhythm shapes and put them on the heartbeats. And some of them, really painstakingly will roll out the dough and stuff like that. So this is a great activity for the younger grades, for them to start visualizing how many sounds are on a beat. And it's a great check for me because I can look around the room, especially if I do like some really bright colors, and I can do a really quick check to see who's got it and who doesn't. Another rhythm manipulative that you can hand to the kids is pipe cleaners. And this would be more for older students when they're starting to talk about like traditional notation. So you can have them talk about how, eighth notes have a beam across and then two stems, and then they can manipulate the pipe cleaner to, curl in to be a filled in note head instead of an empty note head, kind of like that. And then you can take the same pipe cleaner and manipulate it different ways so they can create a half note or a quarter note, and then fill in the dots. So this is a really good like intro to music notation kind of activity. But again, it puts something in the student's hand to let them individually practice and manipulate the item, which is what we're going for with manipulatives. So pipe cleaners are pretty inexpensive at craft stores or, Target. If we want to talk a little bit more, I started doing these poppets this year, and these weren't super expensive, but again, they weren't free like most of the other things I've shown you, but they're really cool. This one in particular I found has concentric circles, and the outside circle has dots of 3, and the middle circle has dots of 2, and then inside is sets of 1. And so I use this for a meter lesson. And we did songs in 3, and they had to go pop, 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 pop all the way around, and then turn it, pop, 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 pop. And then they would pass it to the next person, and they would do meter 2, pop, 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 pop. So I have about 5 of these, and we shared them in my class of 30. So you don't need very many is the other thing. You can always have them share or get in small groups. So you don't have to have a one-to-one manipulative. And I like the poppets because it got the kids really excited, because this is the hot thing this year. I'm sure it'll change in a couple of years, but I'm sure this will still be fun regardless if it's not the hot thing anymore. But I also found on Amazon these individual poppets, which I've used in a couple different ways. So these come in different colors, and they connect in whatever shape you want. So it might be hard to see, but I took a Sharpie and I wrote paired eighth notes on both sides, and it's a little faded because the kids have been popping it, but they still know. So all the yellows in my set are eighth notes. All the reds are quarter rests. I got red like stoplight. And then all the oranges are quarter notes. I also have blues that are 16th notes and stuff like that. I've got a different set. This is like my K1-2 set. And so you can connect them, and so they can create a rhythm. And I tell them sometimes music is written, with the stems going up and the beam at the bottom, so they can manipulate it in different ways. And so once they've created their shape, their rhythm, and connected it, I tell them make sure that all the pops are the correct way. And then this is a steady beat versus rhythm, where they have to say the rhythm they hear but pop it on the beat. So it would be like sh, ta, ta-dee, ta. And then they can either flip it this way for a new rhythm, or just flip it over so it's the same rhythm again. So if I did a different rhythm, it would be ta, ta-dee, ta, sh. And that was a really cool lesson for them to create, kind of notate a rhythm, but then also get to perform it with the beat versus the rhythm. I could talk about rhythm manipulatives all day long. It's one of my favorite things to teach, but these are just a couple of ideas to get you started. I would love to hear what other manipulatives you use for rhythm, because I'm always looking for new ideas.